Hello, welcome back to another cast of games on the Age of Bison YouTube channel. Continuing with the 2v2 tournament, I am Sir Shark Dad, joined here by McCleaves. And in this game we have Zion Lion playing the infamous India, joined with a new player playing Malta. And then on the further side, we have Hoskopa playing Sweden, which is a pretty interesting pick in a team game if I do say so myself, and then Kerryag taking on with the British. So, McCleaves, you want to go ahead and talk to us about this map? I believe it's Saguenay.
Yeah, Saguenay, really resource-rich map, as we noted before, and in DE it has been. This was already a very popular map on Legacy, and in DE it has been changed a bit. We have a bit more water. You've got two different variations with the trade post, so they can be horizontal or vertical, and this one is the vertical variation. I think it's very interesting for India because you can, with the aggro, you can really take the middle, so you would be able to take the trade line. Also, I know a little bit about the strategy that Holtzkopf and Gary are going to do, and it involves a lot of cap, and it will be very interesting against Malta, especially because Malta is known for making a lot of crossbows. Although I know that this particular player likes Cav as well, so we'll see what happens here.
All right, getting into the starts here, we have Sweden going out for that trade post right away, whereas Britain was going for the double or now triple house start. Pretty greedy start there, I would say. Just one torp on the Swedish side. India building one house and still just working on a standard start, and Malta doing the house and market. Let's go ahead and take a look at the decks if they're already up. Okay, interesting. OP Eric Baraka Gardens, current food exchange for an equal amount of wood, and I would say just some upgrade cards. A lot of hoop thrower, or I keep saying hoop thrower. They're fire throwers, technically hoop throwers in the campaign, right?
Yeah.
And then let's go ahead.
It looks like a pretty greedy deck, really. For I don't know. Yeah, it feels like there's a lot of improvements.
And then India seems pretty standard. Town center attack increase good for more, and good faith agreements as well. But some economic upgrade cards in there. Let's go ahead and quickly move through us so we're not missing too much of this action. Let's look at the British deck. Infinite 300 wood, very interesting. A little bit of water play because we do have quite a bit of water. It would be pretty good for Britain to do that, and quite a few H4 cards. 16 Musk, 3 Conveyor rockets, and then horse artillery coming around. And then for Sweden.
Yeah, it's about this last part. It's about this last card in H2. That's in H2.
March of the Haka Pellets.
It's the one that,
okay, interesting. So nice switch. Yep, absolutely. Yeah. All right, so we're seeing most likely an aggro coming down from Zion Lion, and some contested space here going around in the trade post.
So they're already taking the trade line.
So let's see what they can see.
Oh no, it's the Swedish one, sorry. And they didn't see the aggro.
They do not see the aggro. But it's not a lot being scouted on either side, it doesn't seem like. All right.
I'm surprised it's actually out of the line of sight of that trade post. That's pretty.
It is. It's right on the cusp of it. So Britain's going up a logistician, so I believe that gives you one free upgrade at an arsenal and a military wagon. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. And then we're also
Sweden might be doing the same.
Also a logistician age up. Okay. This is going to be a pretty intense H2.
Yeah, I think it's like they do basically the same thing, if I'm correct.
Let's go ahead and take off the Fog of War. Malta going up with Quartermaster for that 400 wood, always very popular, and German Tongue coming in for more economic play, very good card. And Zion Lion. Aggro finally comes up, H2. First one to get there, so very fast on his part. Good job.
Yeah.
Some set plays being made.
People actually disagree with the German immigrants or German tongue opening. I heard a lot of people say that, well, it's a bit too greedy, it costs too much, but a new player has been using it every single game, so it must be quite good actually, because he's got quite some good success with Malta.
As long as you remember to make the settler wagons, it's a pretty big economic buff for them for a civ that that does need Wignacourt and it does need it does need a little bit of help economically, I would say. And now we see some Sepoy coming in, sieging the trade posts. I believe these are the Team 2 Flail Elephants. Been super popular seeing these on the ladder, both just in a competitive sense, outside of the tournament as well as inside of the tournament. Commandery coming down on a new player's part here. He's just building that from scratch. That's not even the... where did that first commander go? Up here. Okay, so already exhibiting some great deal of map control, which is Malta is very famous for. And,
And there's the forward base.
There it is. Okay, double... Oh, okay, double... Not a double racks, but it's an artillery foundry, so...
Watch the siege elephants coming in. I already see it happening. And they'll just... Oh, there they are. Yeah, this is reminding me of that game on Mongolia that they played earlier. That we have also casted that one for viewers here. You can check it out on the channel. But they basically just rushed that shipment. I'm wondering whether it's 10-10 that India does. I think it probably is.
All right, we got a bit of a concerning play here on Britain's getting pushed here. Now, it's interesting because Sweden seems to have only chosen to make the stable here in the back rather than joining him with the forward base, but we do see 5 Hussar coming out right now, trying to rush across because it's important that this is held, and oh no, the 4 Flail Elephants, so strong in H2. I mean, these guys, 325 health, doesn't seem like a lot in the grand scheme of things, but in this early play, and this siege is 80. I mean, it's insane.
And that's a 500 wood swing there for a new Zion, and that's big. Already order Hussars. Remember, these Hussars are stronger than normal Hussars.
Yes, I was going to say that a whole batch of 5 order Hussar, and already this is a huge shift in tone. And I'm really wondering, I don't know, do you feel like there was a lack of coordination there in terms of the forward base placement?
I don't know whether it was a lack of coordination, but they definitely didn't take into account that siege elephant or flail elephant shipment because the forward base, it was a waste. That's just what it was.
A lot of cav coming out on Hoskopa's part, just trying to chase away these order Hussar. Britain, though, not lacking in any sort of economic output, though. Now, these Hussar are going to have a hard time with these Sepoy, though, in melee. But he does need to try to take out these flail elephants, and I don't know exactly what they're going to do now because with Britain's absolutely no military production on the field, I don't think. It's going to be interesting to watch how exactly Sweden plans on doing this. And here we go, 2 more flail elephants coming in. So I think he lost those 2 flail elephants that were trying to take down the arsenal. Didn't get very far, but oh no, they're on here on the side. Okay, good Hussar pop here on top of them.
Yeah, that's very good.
But it's going to be
so
hard.
They are countered by Minutemen, if I'm not mistaken.
That's a strong forward base placement. He's going to need probably some Musketeer to deal with these Order Hussar because they're not going to be able to win. But, oh, here we go. Britain's already going up H3, choosing to go up with the Adventurer.
That's a very interesting choice when you're under pressure like this and just massing.
Maybe there's some confidence that they'll be able to hold here because it doesn't look like they're going to get that TC. Oh, and all flail elephants have now gone down. Minutemen just going to work. Order Hussar still just running around. This is an intense fight over here for the Swedish base, and I'm really wondering how Kariag is going to be responding to this. Let's go ahead and take a look over on if they've lost any units.
He's sending his own Minutemen as well. But yeah, Sweden has lost a lot of its mass, and now the Malta
is still just continuing to go ahead and lay on that pressure. Let's take a look at the Zion line side, as well as a new player. More coin being shipped in, probably to help with the Hussar production, and then on Zion's part, more Gurkha coming in. Interesting choice considering the amount of cav on the field on their part, but maybe he's anticipating the amount of Musketeers that are coming in.
I feel like these Musketeers need to be in Swedish base.
Yeah, I would kind of agree with that. He's sending the longbow forward, and he's got that H3 finally. Maybe it taken them a little bit by surprise, but I mean, I think they're probably content to continue sieging here. Holskopa now, he's now doing the switch, but I don't know exactly where his Hussar are for the Hakapella. I mean, he has a couple down here, but I don't... Okay,
yeah, I disagree with this part. He should be sending for your Sarge or something else, something eco maybe. But
all right, still continue to put pressure on the Swedish eco. Now you do have the Torps, which is going to continue to give you the idle gathering, which so it's not as painful for them. But with these Order Hussar running around, and you don't have any military production coming in on the Swedish side. So I mean, I think Zion Lion and a new player are probably just going to be content to just continue to just siege this down. Hakapella's doing what they can, but now you have the Gurkha on the other side that are just going to counter these guys. So I don't know exactly what.
No, Gurkha don't counter them. Hakapels are still heavy cav.
Oh, heavy cav. Yes. Oh, yes. You're right. I apologize. Okay.
That's okay, but I don't think
nice raid here, but villagers taking that out.
Was not the best idea, because you really only want to send that card in the event that you have a nice mass of hussars. But if you don't, you might as well not send it. And I think that's the. It's where that is the. You know what happened is that they had a plan and then it didn't go as planned, and then they still kind of stuck to it. That's how I feel. And maybe it's a, you know, a little flexibility would be probably help a lot here.
It's so hard to decide. It's so hard to decide that, because sometimes you have to just play it out because that's what you've decided on, and it you know, it would be the benefit than trying to adapt on the fly. But here you go. You got some Order Hussar here in the back. You got to defend those two Falconets with your life.
Yeah, adapting isn't easy either. So it's not like, you know, it's easy talking. Then again, look at British score. Like he is actually leading in score. Although the Swedish player has been hurt a lot. A lot,
yeah. We got 29 vills on that side. Hoskopa 24, which is still impressive that he was able to maintain his settler economy. 29 on Zion's part, and then new player with 37. Very impressive villager counts there. Order Hussar still just trying to idle that British economy, just getting after it.
Oh,
no, Falks are fine. Falks are fine. He was able to put them behind the house. Good micro.
He needs more anti-cav though. They don't have a lot of protection for them.
Seems like India is content to continue to just produce Gurkha. H3 now coming in for Malta, the Bishop, giving you a TC. For Zion Lion now we also have the H3 coming in, the Karnimata. Let's see what Sweden is able to respond with. Now this is a good idea here. I think you get some Chords of 700 wood to rebuild that eco. You need to try to exhibit some sort of map control here, because you need to get the Torps out. So we have some unclaimed coin mines out here, but you're going to have a lot of pressure from this Agra. So I don't know exactly.
Maybe up north.
It's an idea.
Also, it's interesting to see that he can actually train Acapels now. I didn't take that into account when I was.
You were talking about anti-cav earlier, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the anti-cav earlier is going to be the Hakka pellets, and I think it would probably be good to go ahead and go for the water. Might as well now, and really put some pressure.
Anti-cav, but they do, you know, they can kind of build. So I guess going forward here with the army, Brits, pretty bold decision.
Yeah, a little bit unsupported here. And especially because, you know, at least we know that there is a massive Gurkha on this side, which will definitely.
They don't know that.
They don't know that, but we know that, and it's going to be a bit concerning for him placing that forward. Absolutely. H3 still just slowly coming in, seeing if he can put some pressure on this base. We got Hakka pellets coming in on the back line, and almost caught those saddler wagons. He sees the commander. He's going to go for the siege here. Town center going on right there.
I thought it was another commander.
Turn the fog of war back on, just wanting to see this fight.
Oh, he needs to go back with the Hakapel.
And the Order Hussar right there on top of the Falconets. And does he pull it in time? No. Oh, that's so rough to see. He tried to get a shot off, and yep, no, both are down. But the Hakka pellets are going to be able to get in here and get into melee range, and
yeah, that's
nice job on his part. So that's a good sweep. Hakka pellets are sieging still in that new town center. Commander, he's still up. I would go ahead and take that down if I were you. All right.
Yeah, he's doing that now. Good call. Yeah, all those Gurkha just vanished. Yeah, that was a pretty good fight. Even though they lost the Falks.
Going in and switching those musketeers out of melee mode. Let's go ahead and see. Karyag is now at 32. Doing pretty well there. Let's see how they're going to respond here. 39 on India's part. Still just sieging down, and I'm wondering who they're going to target in this one. This is getting pretty intense here.
Oh, H4. H4 coming in for Malta here.
Impressive. That is very fast age up. He probably sent in... No, he didn't have hospitality, so he just went and gathered for it. And that's interesting. That's probably why we didn't see as many... Probably didn't see as many units.
Look at that card that he has. He's going to send it in now. Nope, he doesn't have top space, but as soon as he does...
I think this is a pretty good fight for them. Them being for Hoskapa and Carry, maybe. It seems like they're driving them back. I would try to get those Haka pellets on top of the Gurkha if you could. Got to keep that Musketeer mass alive. Oh, it's a bit of a difficulty here. More Haka pellets coming in. Hoskapa is still age 2. I wonder if he has any intentions of aging up here, but probably not. Just still struggling.
The intention is probably there, but it's really hard to get the resources. Oh, Urumi? Yeah,
Urumi.
That hurts. That always hurts.
Strong units.
The Urumi are kind of like, you know, it's a sort of falconet that fights in melee.
what a strange what a strange statement, but you're not wrong. Once again, exhibiting some more map control here. Sweden is finally starting to get those torps out, which is going to help with that eco, as now Sweden is going to start to enter its win condition. Still a kind of tentative...
Look at that.
Can he get on top of it? Can he get on top of it with the Haka pellets? Awesome play here. That is a tough pop.
What a catch.
What a catch on that. That's absolutely worth it to sacrifice those Haka pellets for that.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you got the siege elephants, too, which those are kind of nasty, I think, when taking down infrastructure, but if you can get some cavalry on top of it, they'll definitely go down. I don't necessarily think these musketeers should be trading with these Gurkha over here, but I'm going to go ahead and switch and see if Carey has any. He does have the 2 cards, the upgrade cards he can send in, and here are some more Urumi. They're definitely going to do some work, and these musketeers are most likely going to be cleaned up.
Urumi really are just sort of cannonballs.
We got a lot of idols here on the side of Karyag with just so many settlers.
That's the tricky part of playing Brit.
Right? Yeah, the boom is hard to contain the boom as well as doing your economy at the same time. Once again, eating up a lot of these coin mines now. We got Commandery in a town center going down out here. They're going to have to try to control this space as well. It's going to start to get a little tight and go closer and closer to the center of the map. At some point, if this game keeps going on as intensely as it is, we're going to have to expect these players to either switch to water and start to go for those infinite gathering.
Okay, when you see the score difference, then you might conclude that the army is just not enough anymore for the other team. Like there's no, there's no mass, and they're going to
they're going on water here finally.
That could still save it.
But Britain, the ability for Britain to boom is going to allow them to very quickly economically recover and start to put out a lot more units. And we still got some Haka pellets here on the field.
8 and 9 houses. They can still place. I'm wondering how many torps Sweden has by now.
What is going to be interesting to see...
Oh, he's got all of them.
How are they going to respond to this? This is now we're reaching a significant mass. There's quite a lot of... I mean, pretty much, Malta has been content to pretty much monocomp this whole time, and it has served them well for the most part. There has not been too much lacking in this part because it really has been Zion that has been doing a lot of variation in the units and making up for the fact that, you know, you have one player that's making only Hussar, and it's quite a lot of Hussar at this point. And here we go, right on top of the villas. They just left them totally exposed. And it's so hard to exhibit that map control. It's so difficult, like, because you're dealing with so much in this game, and you just go ahead and you just let that out. Very difficult.
And look at those torps. Just it's 2 shots and the torps are gone.
20 SR right there. Torps coming in. They have to get on top of those siege elephants, but this is such a critical mass of Gurkha here, and these musketeer are just going to be absolutely wasting just going into melee. They're just going to be ripped apart by these Gurkha.
Yeah. and more vills going down as well. This is tough.
All right, we have Contract Black Riders coming in on Host Copa's part.
Oh, he's aged 3 now. Okay, he did age.
Yeah, not enough hot capellas to get on top of those Gurkha, and now the Order has started just getting right all on top of the Kariag there, calling on the GG.
I think that's right. But, well played to both of the teams already. It was both had an interesting try. It didn't go exactly as planned for one of the teams, but they still pulled off a pretty good game, I think.
Jeez, hard to see. Let's take a look at the post game.
Yeah, look at that. Very surprising. Brits having the least resources. I did not expect that.
And then the difference between Malta and Britain pretty wide. Yeah. Let's take a look at the villager count.
Malta just booming out of control.
Yeah, quite a bit of, I just think it's a failure to launch on the part of Sweden. Not his fault. I think they played it out and they fought well and they held it off. But 4 flail elephants.
Villager count isn't really a way to measure Sweden because they always lag behind a little bit. But the Torps should make up for it. But it took him some time to Torp up. And that's because they had a specific strat where the card order was a bit different, but and it could have worked, of course, but in this scenario it just didn't. I think there was some bad luck involved probably, but yeah.
Well, the way that I see it is that Sweden, like Sweden and Malta are kind of in some ways kind of mirror each other in an odd way, like both. Like in the sense that both absolutely need map control. Like as Platypus says, they have to be greedy in their macro, or even better yet, they have to be microing their macro. And the thing is that Sweden doesn't necessarily have built-in kit to exhibit that map control that they need for their torps, whereas Malta has it built into the kit. It's baked into the Civ that they can exhibit map control over the resources and have Wignacort. And then you have, in addition to that, India, which with the Agra and with the other mechanics that are available to them, especially the flail elephants, they can exhibit a great deal of map control and put somebody on the back foot. And the minute that you are set, on the back foot, and then you're late to the age up, you're late to mass, there's a difficulty there. And I'm wondering whether the early age 3 on Britain was really worth it.
I think one of the big things here was the flail elephants getting the Brits forward base before it even, got production out.
Oh yeah, huge.
Yeah, he went one back, but yeah, I think that is just really hurtful, and that flail elephant shipment is just so good. It allows you to, put a lot of pressure while Malta can still boom behind it because India is basically doing the early damage and units for Malta.
Yeah, it's impressive. You have to give it to them because Zion is basically aging up almost a full minute before Britain.
Yeah.
And so and then you can get the flail elephants. Yeah, exactly. And so what ends up happening is that logistician play, and where you're gonna get the grenadiers out, you get that grenadier upgrade, and then you send grenadiers with the muskets. Like that play is killed. It's killed. It's done because you just gathered all that wood and it's blown away. And so
India gets a lot of tempo with that shipment, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, great game to both teams. Once again, a new Zion continues to continues to impress and live another day. We're not going to be casting every single game in this series, but suffice it to say that a new Zion does end up winning the series over the Samson team. And so, but great game to both teams. Really well played out. Beautiful map. Great game of back and forth map control, and there was definitely some moments there where it could have swung either way. So, if you're enjoying the content of what we do here, if you want to see more, go ahead and like this video. Go ahead and subscribe, and help us gain that traction over YouTube and just get more people playing this game. Really appreciate it, guys. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.